To create this marble look, I'm using a white acrylic powder. This is bright white, but you could also use a soft white. You'll also need a metallic pigment powder of some sort. This is a rose gold and it gives a nice bronze look. You'll also need a regular polish in black. Stamping polish is good because it's got lots of pigmentation. You'll also need a black gel polish and a clear gel top coat. I'm going to pick up a fairly wet bead of acrylic and I'm going to dip my brush both into the acrylic and the pigment powder, and when I place it on the nail I'm going to spread it gently so that the pigment and the acrylic mix slightly and give a feathered effect. With each bead I'm picking up a different ratio of acrylic to pigment so that you get an inconsistent look through the nail. Be sure to leave some heavy patches of acrylic and heavy patches of pigment in different spots so that you get a bit of contrast. Don't be too fussed about creating patterns within the nail. Once it starts coming together, you'll be able to see how it organically looks, and you can add different patches of white or pigment where you think it's needed. You don't have to work up the nail consistently. You can move to different parts of the nail, put down some product and then fill in the gaps with some white acrylic. Remember to clean your brush between each section so that you get a nice contrast between the white and the bronze. Don't get too hung up on getting a nice smooth finish on the acrylic. You can file and buff that later. Too much manipulation of the acrylic while you're working will make it blend too much and you won't get the contrasting lines. When you're happy with the acrylic application, file, buff and top coat the nail. Then, with a small brush, take some of the stamping polish or regular polish and do a few random lines on the nail. You can see I'm kind of following the darker parts of the pigment just to emphasize them when I go through and blend out the marble. Dip a slightly larger brush into acetone and gently pat it along the lines of your polish. This will make the polish blend and you can manipulate it with your brush to create the feathered line. This is a fairly bold marble look, so I'm not going to blend out the polish a lot. I'm going to leave a few patches where it's really dark to get that rock-like effect. This is definitely part of the process that requires a lot of practice, a lot of trial and error to get the look right. But since you've top coated the nail, it's easy to just wipe it off and start again. The next step is to top coat the nail again. Here you can leave the nail just as is, or you can put another design on top. I'm using a black gel polish for this design, basically just taking a fine nail art brush and painting a frame around the nail. Once that design has been cured, I go in with another top coat and the nail is complete. I hope this tutorial has been useful for you. Please comment with feedback, suggestions, any new designs you'd like to see tutorials on, and please share your creations with me on Insta.